Dear Ruth, I dreamed about you again last night. I hold your face in my mind. I think about your hair getting longer. I think about your belly getting bigger. I think about our baby girl.
Hello everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Christy Lemire, Alonso Duralde. Ain't Them Body Saints opened limited last weekend. It's going wider this weekend, and it was a big hit at Sundance. Tell us about it.
Yes, it won the Cinematography Award at Sundance. It's incredibly beautiful. Lots of Malicky magic hour lighting going on here. Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara are a young married couple, and she's just found out that she's pregnant. But they are outlaws in small town Texas, and so what they think is going to be their nice little idyllic future together is torn apart. He goes off to prison, she has their child, and then he breaks out one day and tries to reconcile with them, and this is what happens. Take a look.
I shot someone. I think I shot someone.
It's gonna be okay. All you gotta do is wait for me.
I don't know why you kids did what you did.
What do you want to do now?
I'm gonna wait for him.
It's gonna be all over the news later. Thought best you hear this to my friend.
Hear what?
I know you know I'm out, and I hope you know I'm coming for you. Just like I always said, I'm so close to you, I can almost reach out and touch your cheek.
You take those girls, you got trouble.
Maybe get out of town till all this blows over.
You mean till he gets caught?
I love this movie so much, and I know it's a big old Terrence Malick ripoff. I know that, and I'm okay with it because it is so well done. And when I was watching it, it reminded me a lot of Far From Heaven. Actually,
Really?
Here's why. In that, Todd Haynes is doing a Douglas Sirk movie in Far From Heaven and doing
So
it meticulously,
an homage. Okay.
right? But still, but Far From Heaven also functions really beautifully, really emotionally.
On its own.
On its own terms, it's its own work of art, and I feel like this does too, despite the obvious borrowings and the lighting and the pacing and just the kind of quiet naturalism of it all. You've seen this kind of film before. It's very 70s kind of Malick. Although David Lowery says he was not trying to steal from Malick.
Well, what's he gonna say?
He's not what he's saying. He was saying that he didn't. And the DP, Bradford Young, I want to say, who won the award at Sundance, was saying that that's not necessarily what the aesthetic touchstone they were going for. They were looking more at like 70s Altman.
Oh, like Thieves Like Us or something? Interesting, okay. It's a Malick movie, let's face it. It's funny, we were talking about Amy Seimetz being in You're Next, and that she's one of the stars of Upstream Color. David Lowery, who wrote and directed this film, edited Upstream Color. He also co-wrote Pit Stop, so there's a whole, there's a whole incestuous Austin thing happening. I think I agree this movie is gorgeous. I loved looking at it. I loved all the sort of, people shot through screen doors and all that sort of honey, butterscotch skies and sunset stuff. For me, where it falls apart is the storytelling. I think that after a while, so years have passed. Casey Affleck's busting out of jail. Rooney Mara is raising their young daughter. Ben Foster is the sheriff who Rooney Mara actually shoots. Rooney Mara shoots early on in the film, but Casey Affleck takes
the other Affleck.
Casey Affleck takes the blame for it, and that's part of why he's in prison. And Foster's keeping a close eye on Rooney Mara because he knows that's where Affleck is heading, and then she and he sort of hit it off and become maybe a thing. And I felt like it sets up an interesting story. The character interplay is really cool, and then there's movies where you know what point B is gonna be, and the movie either needs to get there right away or entertain you in some other way on that route. This movie, you know where it's all heading, and then it just takes its sweet molasses time to get there, and there's not enough else going on for me anyway that to keep me invested in the story. I never got tired of looking at it, but after a while I was like, okay, this is gorgeous, but can we, get on with it?
I mean, yes, it is languid, and I think a lot of what worked as far as filling in that time for me or that mood or whatever is just, yes, it's gorgeous, but there's tension in little ways, and a lot of that has to do with the character interplay. So you mentioned Ben Foster, for example. I think it's not necessarily clear what his intentions are the entire time. I mean, in terms of is he genuinely interested in becoming like a husband and father figure to this family, or does he just want his man? I don't think you truly know what he's after. Similar with Keith Carradine.
That never felt oblique to me. But
no, I feel like you could interpret his motivation in a couple different ways. Same with Keith Carradine, who was great in this. Speaking of a throwback to the kind of 70s films this aspires to be. Yes. And in that he is the next door neighbor and kind of the father figure.
Well, he's the adoptive father of the Affleck character, right? In a way.
I mean,
surrogate
in a
father,
way,
some sort of.
In a way, it also he runs the hardware store. He might run the whole town, and he might be more nefarious than his kindly demeanor suggests.
Sure.
And I like the little pieces of who he is and how they all fit together are dribbled out to us, right? And so there's tension all along the way and discoveries all along the way that kept me going. And I'm not sure I knew where Point B was.
Okay.
I think Point B could have been a lot of different places.
Okay, I don't know. I sort of felt like, all right, I know where this is going, and I was never wrong, so.
Alonso likes being right.
No, I'm just saying. No, believe me, I would have loved to have been surprised because that would have at least sort of jolted me back into being interested, and I was just sort of like, okay, this is, can we,
So that last moment then didn't do anything for you?
It wasn't. It didn't feel
inevitable.
It felt inevitable. Yeah, exactly. It didn't feel unforeseen. So again, I think this is exquisitely made. I'm dying to see what David Lowery does next. And I'm a big fan of the other films that he worked on this year. This one just left me a little cold.
I loved it. I totally dug it. So I'm giving it a 9.2. I think it's the best movie. One of the best movies of the year is part of a really great couple of last weekends in August here. And I dug it. What's yours?
I give it a 6.
Wow.
I think the look is great, but I just really was not engaged, and I started out really being on board, and it just kind of left me by the side of the road at some point. So that's a 7.6, and strangely enough, it is a 76% on the tomato meter.
It's expanding. I would say it's definitely, as you would put it, a capital A art house film.
Absolutely.
It's not for everyone, but if you like this kind of movie, you will probably dig this.
Yes.